The massive programmatic piano cycle, Vingt Regards sur l'enfant Jésus of Olivier Messiaen, is acknowledged as an exemplary and explicit expression of musical inspiration and spiritual yearning. The 20 pieces to be performed sequentially reflect a penetrating human endeavor with its perpetuity of vision and strength. Yet, even as an outpouring from Messiaen's profound grounding in Roman Catholicism, the musical language far exceeds religious classification, likewise as in all works of Messiaen. In understanding the complexities and diverse touchstones of the cycle, the actual translation of the title indicates the broad-reaching potentials of comprehension. Vingt Regards has been translated variously as 20 contemplations, or 20 glances, or 20 gazes on the child or infant Jesus. The genesis of this work reaches back into Messiaen's critical and formative childhood years, nurtured from a wealth of artistic experience. His mother was a successful poet, and his father was a literature teacher and an authority on Shakespeare, having translated the entire oeuvre of Shakespeare into French. Messiaen was steeped in a love and respect for design and the balance in the awkward and sometimes elusive concept of beauty. He was immersed in an atmosphere appreciating not only the human passions, but also their mystical extension. Of critical importance to this work was Messiaen's muse, his wife, Yvonne Loriot. Through her pianistic brilliance, as attributed by Messiaen, she intimately affected the dynamic and virtuosic pianism essential to the Vingt Regards. Yvonne Loriot premiered the work in 1945, 1 year after its completion. And it was from Yvonne Loriot's recommendation, written in 1987, regarding the role of Messiaen's deep religious belief, that in piano performance, the warmth of the faith and enthusiasm, the religious emotion will add to the musical emotion. As she admonishes for performance of La Première Communion de la Vierge, the first communion of the Virgin, one must love the purity of the Virgin, believe in her total virginity, just as for this conception, the infant Jesus is born without changing his mother. Messiaen struggled in his compositional process. Messiaen confessed, "I have tried to be a Christian musician and proclaim my faith through song, but without ever succeeding. What I can say is that I prefer music that is iridescent, subtle, even voluptuous. Music that sings, music that is like new blood, a signed gesture, an unknown perfume. Music that expresses the end of time, ubiquity, glorified bodies in the divine and supernatural mysteries. A theological rainbow." Messiaen's religious grounding inured his use of the Gregorian plain chant and the Magnificat of the Roman Catholic Mass. Fascinated from early youth, also, Messiaen documented and eventually recorded the Song of Birds. This process evolved into a view that birdsong was creation singing the praises of God. 6 segments of the cycle are laced with birdsong, one of which will be performed here, the First Communion. As a Parisian during the Nazi occupation of World War II, Messiaen composed and wrote as other artists of the underground resistance. The energy of these artists was couched in art, poetry, and manifestos applauding and iterating the cry of human rights, equality, and freedom from oppression. And Messiaen's cry was strong, resulting in this cycle and the work written during Messiaen's 1940-41 internment in a Nazi concentration camp, Le Quatuor pour la fin du temps, Quartet for the End of Time. Both works take on the mantle of personal belief, faith, and action.